to the Gates of Oblivion
Yep.
story.
And I am on an internal server, and I am going to be using developer commands to kind of skip past some of these things, just so that you know.
It can give
So
you a
don't
little
think
tour.
that don't think that this is like a special ability you're going to get next.
Part of the update? No.
Yeah, it's not
No,
when
it's not.
FOA goes live. You're not gonna get these special abilities.
All right.
All right.
So I guess before you
Where are we
start
gonna-
off, how do these dungeons sort of tie into the larger Gates of Oblivion storyline?
So much like we did with Harrowstorm and Raststone, you're going to learn things in both of these dungeons, which are going to, when you put them together in the prologue, it gives you context for what's happening in the prologue. You actually, and as I go into the dungeons, I'll show you the people that you're going to meet. I do want to touch on where these are in the world.
Oh, yeah.
The first dungeon is in Deshawn. If you notice this, it's on the western part of Deshawn. And the dungeon is called the Cauldron. And the next dungeon is in Gold Coast. That was it. My bad. Gold Coast, and it's right up here. And that one's called Black Drake Villa. We'll go to that one in a second.
So you
but
can
first,
just walk up to these.
yes.
Or you can use the dungeon finder.
If you don't have a ESO Plus and you don't have the Dark Brotherhood DLC, you would only be able to enter them by clicking on. You would only be able to enter this dungeon by clicking on the icon or using the dungeon finder. But if you do have ESO Plus or have bought the Dark Brotherhood DLC, then yes, you can walk here from Gold Coast. And Deshawn is in the base game, so you can walk here anytime you want.
Sweet.
So,
Which one are you going to
jump
show
into
first? The Cauldron?
We're jumping into the Cauldron first.
Because you're here.
This is
You're right here.
Yeah, because I'm here. I happen to be here. This is where we get to meet. If you saw in the trailer, you saw the Dremora. That Dremora was Lyrinth. We talked a little bit about it in the reveal trailer. She is a fan favorite. She was in the base game. She was in Imperial City. She actually was I believe she was the quest giver in White Gold Tower. So you saw her at this point, and she shows up here and guides you kind of on this path to help this weakling out. So, basic story behind the Cauldron is this group of dark elves and this guy. The villages have been raided by followers of Merrin's Dagon, and he doesn't know why, but he's here to get his family back. Now, Lyrinth has made a bargain with him. She needs something. She wants a very particular item out of this location, but she cannot access it herself.
That's very on brand for her.
Yes, yes. So she needs
she's my
a
favorite.
mortal, right? She needs a mortal to do that. So she has agreed to help him, this weakling of a dark elf.
Don't worry. I see chats like, I thought you said no spoilers. This is just literally the beginning.
This is literally
Yeah.
the beginning. She just wants a particular item, and she's agreed to help him, and that's as far as we're going to go. So you get to figure out what it is she wants and how that plays into the story later on. You're going to find, and again, I am...
You're cheating.
These monsters... Yes, I'm cheating. These are special followers of Merrin's Dagon. They are members of a cult called the Waking Flame. And you're also going to see some regular, Daedric creatures, and
Naturally.
you have this really cool new Watcher up here, which is like a Merrin's Dagon Watcher.
Chat, I see you. I see you asking what he's wearing, and we are going to show you.
We will
Yeah.
talk
When we
about
get into
that.
some better
Yes,
lighting.
As
Yep.
typical, I am wearing stuff
We
from
got you.
the new dungeons. So I
You
will
will
go
cover
over
it,
that
yep.
exactly.
They noticed.
Yep. So we're going to. This dungeon is a classic, more classic dungeon experience that we have than some of our newer things. So some of our other newer dungeons have had like 3 bosses, 3 hard mode. This one has 5 bosses with a hard mode, activatable hard mode at the end. So it's a much more classic experience. The other dungeon, Black Drake Villa, actually is 3 bosses, 3 hard modes. So I'll give you an idea of some of the visuals in here. This is what these guys, what the followers of Merrin's Dagon are doing is part of the mystery of this place. You don't exactly know what's going on. You don't know what they're doing. So you have to kind of figure it out as you're going through here.
And we're not going to tell you.
No, we are not.
Not
This
today.
This is just some cool... it's funny because we give kind of an idea for the story for dungeons a lot of times, and we go to our our world builders and our stuff. And our world builder Mars, who's our world builder for the dungeon team, and he like consistently just knocks it out of the park with what he delivers. Like we didn't say,
That looks awesome.
you know, oh we want this like puppeteering kind of thing with cages. We didn't ask for that at all. He just kind of put it together and was like, this looks cool, and we're like, yeah, it does. So yeah, he really knocked it out of the park in this dungeon as well. And you go through different parts of this dungeon to kind of see. So initially, this kind of looks like, you know, a Dwemer cave, right? This is Deshaun. This is stuff you've seen before. This doesn't look all that different. And but eventually, you kind of transition into other parts. I'll try to do this without spoilers.
I mean, you have to, because we already told people that there would be no spoilers,
We
so no
promised.
pressure.
Yeah, I meant story-wise, how deep it gets into the story. This is the next boss is a taskmaster, and after you, I'll probably end it after this one. We can take a look at here, and then as you transition to the next part, you get a little bit more idea of what the story is. Lyrinth had journeyed ahead to find out what's going on, and she's probably going to talk about the story. Let's go ahead.
Ah, run away.
So you get to venture forward, and you have to travel this lava-like path. Yeah. There's some cool stuff. You know, Marin's Dagon followers, they are attracted to lava. They're like they're like Darth Vader. So, I mean, he's physically. Never mind. Anyways, so
Moving
on. People that are looking at kind of what I'm wearing and stuff. The skin that I have on here is the unlockable skin for completing this dungeon on Veteran. So if you complete this dungeon on Veteran, you get this skin that you can apply to all of your characters. The armor is the armor that drops in this dungeon, and that helmet, which looks so cool,
It does.
is actually the monster, the Undaunted helmet and shoulder that you get from this dungeon.
That is
I
awesome.
guess he has, like,
a good one.
He has little cutouts for his eyes.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't need eyes. Where
It's
we're
just
going,
that
Overrated.
awesome.
we don't
Overrated.
need eyes. I guess.
He has magic eyes.
Yeah, he's it's a really unique boss that uses sonar, so it's just this loud screech into your ears the entire time. Yeah, we went above and beyond. Did
So
something
you
different this
so
time.
you do the VO for it, huh?
Yeah, right. I do.
That-
Oh, what are you trying to say?
Ah!
Oh, look at that.
Stay with us,
Get those things.
so
in.
you can show the next dungeon.
Yes. So that's all I'm going to show you as far as the bosses are concerned here. But if I say you go through this lava cave and you end up in another place, and it reveals kind of the story of what's going on here and how exactly you can stop it. And then at the very end, it reveals what Lyrinth was doing here and how Drathus, who was the quest NPC that you saw, the Dark Elf, how he plays into it.
And this story kind of ties into the story in the next dungeon we're going to take a look at
Absolutely.
too, right?
Yes, they both. But these are like two halves of the same coin, kind of like the rest.
You can do them in any
grab two
order.
halves. Yep, you can do them in any order. And when you do the prologue, if you have done the dungeons,
What?
Am I breathing?
Just because your audio is going in and out a tiny bit.
Oh.
let's.
Now
Alright,
you will
anyways.
bear
Not
chat.
supposed to eat it.
Sorry.
All right, so where are we headed next?
We are now in Black Drake Villa. So this is again in the northern section of the Gold Coast, just south of Cyrodiil. And this is Black Drake Villa. For those lore hounds out there, they may recognize the name of the Black Drake. He was the first of the Longhouse Emperors, Black Drake Durkarok, I believe. He's the one who gathered the Reachmen and marched across the land and sacked Cyrodiil and became the first of the Longhouse Emperors. Well, when he did that, he set up a little summer home called Black
course he
Drake
did.
Villa.
That's nice.
And as the Longhouse Emperors kind of remained in control, this became their their summer home. Their southern house that they would, and it was passed down from the Black Drake and so on down to Leovic. And for those people that have played the Imperial City, they may recognize Leovic as the dead guy in the chair in the sewers. But we are here for a very specific purpose, and our good friend Evely Sharparrow is here.
Hey.
Yay!
Real quick, I saw somebody asking if they don't have access to Gold Coast, if they can still access this dungeon, and yes,
Absolutely.
you can.
Absolutely. You
Yep.
can either click on the icon for the dungeon from the world map, or you can use the dungeon finder. As long as you have the this DLC unlocked, you can use the dungeon finder and it'll put you in. So
Yep.
absolutely.
So yeah,
And
in
if you
order to
have
access...
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, in order to access the specific dungeons and DLCs, you just need to own that DLC or have access through it through ESO Plus, rather than access to the zone that it's in, if that makes sense.
Yep. Absolutely.
You just wouldn't be able to walk up to it, but there's other ways.
Yep, absolutely. So this is Evely, and she is going to be your friend here. So I'm not going to talk to her and spoil kind of the story. I'll give you the basis for the story. Is a secret benefactor has told her to come here to recover a book. So what the Longhouse Emperors were tyrants and bad people generally. But when they built the Black Drake Villa, not only did they have the villa, but they had a secret library that they stored. It was a repository for information and things that they had stored over time.
Ooh,
So
secret books.
yeah, secret libraries are super secret. But when you start in here and you come to the villa, this has been in disrepair. The Longhouse Emperors have been dead for however long. So the local wildlife has moved in. There's a tribe of goblins that are here. There are minotaurs from Gold Coast that have moved in and kind of like are ruling the goblins. So you've got some special salamanders here.
Oh, get them out.
There's a lot of
Right?
fire.
You are the eviction crew.
Yeah.
Is basically the way this one works. There are some specific clues as to what's going on that we try to tell you. If you notice these little vents right here, you see smoke kind of coming out of these vents.
Oh,
So
no.
the library happens to be underneath this place. What is going on?
What's that mean? Huh?
What is that? All right, so I gotta kill these guys.
With your magical,
Yeah, with my
internal
magical
only
abilities.
developer
Commands.
commands. Yeah.
And I'll show you the first boss. This is a new super big Minotaur. This is Kinra's Iron Eye, and he doesn't like people being here either. He kind of rules the group of goblins and Minotaurs that are outside of here, and he's just kind of in your way. You got Evely up there. She's gonna lend help during the fight. Fire some arrows down on this bad boy, but we're not gonna show that fight. We're just gonna keep going.
Yeah, I have a feeling he won't just step aside and be like, "Oh, go ahead."
He will not. He'll be like, "Oh,
Keep
yeah,
going.
Go ahead, go right through."
Hey, want a tour?
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of like cool things in here to explore. You can see, you know, some of the people that maybe still were here that they've been left for dead. We tried to really build this up and sell it as, you know, this was a Roman villa that was lived in and stuff like that. So even before you go through the sewer grate to get into the dungeon, you can run along the vineyards and stuff like that and see kind of how it was kept up. So. But we are going to take this door is blocked. It's locked. So we can't get in there, so we're going to take this entrance, this walkway, and we are going to go underneath. And this is where you start to see what's happened kind of to the library.
You ever notice that
imperial
people
statue.
love leaving their cellars unlocked in games?
You know, I try not to judge people for that. Like maybe they, you know, just they're scared of tornadoes, I guess, in the Gold Coast. I don't know.
Thank goodness they do, so we can ransack
Yeah.
everything in there, right?
So you can see here that this is the library, and it is on
Oh
fire.
no!
So you can see the
Oh,
vents
the
and the
books.
roof. This is where the smoke was coming from through the vents. All the books are being burned.
That sucks.
And these guys, the True Sworn, are some pretty cool, like, arsonist style.
I like the,
Imperials,
like-
it looks like, yeah.
I like the lattice work on his mask. That's really cool.
Yeah, these guys are super cool. And they have these little flame hounds that they've summoned, if you see them.
Oh wow.
And this guy's like burning this whole thing.
Yeah, he's
too,
just
so-
standing there, and he's like,
Yeah, he is. He's
Just
just
burn
like,
this whole
he
bookcase.
doesn't have to do much. They just said, stand there and look pretty, and he's like, cool, I can do that. I had to kill those guys because the door's locked. Otherwise, Emily's going to come in and say, oh my gosh, they're burning the entire library.
oh no.
Make it stop.
Again, more cool scenery here for stuff on fire, library burning.
What are those glowy things?
What indeed?
Those are
What
cool.
Great
Oh,
question.
is that a spoiler?
Indeed. What indeed? Moving along, moving along.
Nothing to
Oh,
see here.
they're still alive. I think there's fire ghosts up here. Yeah, there they are.
Not anymore.
Burning specters. Yeah, so you kind of make your way through the library, and some enemies here. The incinerator, the last boss is there. He kind of sets up a flame wall, prevents you from getting anywhere. Sends his enemies, his buddies, against you. More burning specters.
Chat's
Come
like,
on,
how
guys.
do we save the books?
Well,
books,
you
the
might be
books.
able to save the books eventually. Not all of them, mind you.
Mm.
But this is cool. Emily learned a trick. She got water arrows.
What?
Yay! And she knocks that fire out so you can get through there. She's gonna take the high road. You're gonna take the low road. So you get to. It's pretty cool because you get to come in here and you see her. She's gonna be walking up top, and she's like, "Hey, I found something up here." That might have been. It might be over here that she does that. But she does let you know. She goes, "Hey, I found some stuff up here. We'll meet together and find out what it was."
Yeah, I see her.
Yep, there she is.
The writing is all strange scribbles.
She's searching. You're searching. You're actually just trying to find out what's going on. Why are they burning it? Stopping them from burning everything. And she has a very specific purpose in here.
Mm.
Cool statues.
It's a cool
Yeah,
dungeon.
those are really nice. Are those Imperial?
They are. They are indeed. So this is the rotunda. This is the second boss. Again, really cool space. You know, that imperial, almost Roman architecture.
Mm-hmm.
And
I can delay these worms. You take care
this
of
is
Captain
the
Paul.
boss. You see the final boss is talking to Captain Geminus, who's now dead.
Well, that
We're
was
gonna
easy.
follow them out. Yeah, I know that was easy. Just make these harder. Again, all three of these bosses are. There are 3 bosses in the dungeon, and they each have their own activatable hard mode. So this is pretty cool. This is the flooded gardens. So this was a spot where they could kind of go and relax and whatnot. You're kind of outside of the. But this is cool too. What's this? Whoop.
Whoa!
What?
What is that?
Oh my goodness, that looks
Do it
fun.
again.
No, I will.
Do it again.
Do it again. Do it again. Yes.
So,
Oh, man.
there's some pretty cool stuff with this. This might be important in a boss fight. We'll give you a little bit of chance to play with it, see what it's like, but it might be important. Also, these guys look super cool. These
Oh,
fire
man.
behemoths. So,
Wow.
these True Sworn, nobody knows where they came from. They're obviously fire-based and arsonist-based, and they've been summoning some pretty powerful things. They have these burning specters, they have the flame hounds, and they also have these fire behemoths that they've been summoning to help.
With very big hammers.
They do have very big hammers.
I tried a new shiny
I mean, what's a fire behemoth without a giant hammer, right?
Yeah.
And this is the Walled Arboretum. So this is the final boss. I'm not going to spoil what this is or what happens here. I will show the final boss, though.
Big fight space, though.
He looks so cool. Pyroturge and Kratix.
Oh man, see, I'm looking at that relief on the wall back there
I know,
too.
right? Isn't
It's
that
so
cool?
pretty.
Isn't that cool? Well, if you want to find out anything about this fight, you'll have to wait till tomorrow. to
Tomorrow
play it.
on PTS.
On PTS.
On
Yes,
PTS,
yes, yes.
on PTS. And it wouldn't be so for this dungeon, the veteran reward is the memento that
which we can show you now if you all want to see it. Let's show you. So the first one, I don't know which one you're going to do first. We have the Scorching
Whichever.
Chaos Ball. And you get these just by competing in Battlegrounds. Probably winning.
Oh, that's fun. He's like,
It's like a
hot,
hot potato.
hot.
Yeah.
Hot potato, hot potato. Now we also have the Chaos Ball Victory Dance. Yay!
That's a fun one.
I got the ball. And then last, I like this one a lot, is the Chaos Ball Boom.
Nice. That's awesome.
So again, these come from playing in Battlegrounds in Update 29. They are all emotes.
And I did show off the item set a second ago. This is one of the item sets. You're going to get to see all of them tomorrow in the patch notes. But to show you what this is, Full Killer's Curus. This is from the Cauldron. That's a heavy armor set. And this is what it looks like. This is the visual of this heavy armor set. And then Baron Zodrus's Visage, again, from the Cauldron.
That is such a cool look.
Yeah.
It is, right?
I love it.
I love it too. Yeah, it was really cool, and when you see it kind of you see the final boss in that dungeon, he's pretty awesome. He's pretty cool.
Reminiscent of the look.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Finn, always a pleasure to have you on our
Always
streams
a
with
pleasure
us.
to be here.
Thank you so much for
Yes,
showing
thank
us
you.
just a quick preview of these dungeons. Again, they are coming to PTS tomorrow in